He's like, oh, that's so strange. And I said, listen, like the whole reason is because you put it in your head that I didn't like you because you're short. I told you several times that that wasn't the case. Um, so yeah, and he goes, oh yeah, I was such an angry kid back then. You know, 3 to 6 months earlier, like I was such an angry kid
Mm-hmm.
back then. And I
Mm-hmm.
say, how's about a second chance? And I respond to him something along the lines of, listen, I can appreciate you trying to take a second go at it, but you either you're an idiot because you're looking at me on WhatsApp, so you have our history, or you deleted me, like this was 3 to 6 months ago. So either you have a
Yeah.
terrible memory about how WhatsApp and everything works, either you just don't remember our few weeks of conversation and the big argument, and I'm just like, that's not interesting. Like, I'm sorry. If you had come to me and said, listen, I apologize, can we try this again? I maybe would have considered it. But this way of just going around it and just being weird about
It's
it, I
too
don't like it.
manipulative. It's
And he
games that
came
you don't want in your life.
exactly. And he comes back and says, oh, well, I wouldn't want to be dating a bitter old bitch like you anyway. I'm sorry.
Okay, then you just proved your point, like that you haven't changed. You're still that kid that speaks like that way, you know?
Anyway, so anyway, and since then I haven't heard from him, but I was just like, God,
I
these
can't stand
people.
that one. Yeah, well, people sort of, I don't know, being stigmatic towards themselves. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not stigma.
Self-victimized.
Prejudice to,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. They victimize themselves, and then they pretend as if it's like you victimizing them, or they're glorifying their victimhood, and they're using it. I don't know. People like to do that these days, where they, even if it's based on something legitimate. Yes, a lot of women don't like short men. I commend you. I don't think I'd ever be able to date someone who's shorter than me. I like them tall. Um, but yeah, so it's a real thing. But then you also have to make sure not to amplify it and harp on it too much, because then that's just, that what happens is when you do meet someone who's interested and doesn't care about your height, then you're making a big deal out of it, and then that is what's going to ruin it. So it's like, yes, it's a thing. No, it's not a thing with her, but you're making it a thing.
exactly.
So it's
You
it's
know,
like you're ruining it for yourself.
I mean, if you everybody, like, nobody's perfect, everybody has these things that they don't like about themselves, but you're the only one that sees it as much as you do. Like, if the
Yeah.
only thing you concentrate on is that flaw, then that's what everybody's going to see. Because, and especially with men, I think it's different. Sorry to generalize, and we're going to get cancelled before we even start, but I feel that
Yeah.
men can get away with a lot of flaws, physical appearance flaws, if they have the
Hmm.
right attitude. I don't think it's
Yeah.
as easy for women. And this isn't me. I'm not talking about like equalities of sex and whatever. I'm just saying that I find that men can get away with way more because they can cover it with like charisma and attitude and things like that. Like, if you look at a lot of male celebrities, you have a lot of male celebrities that are just not that good looking, but they are so
Hmm.
charismatic or
Charming.
funny and charming and things like, they get
Yeah.
away with it. Less so with women. Some, yes, but less so.
Because
Um,
society is less forgiving also with women.
yeah, yeah. That's not where we're going with this. But
No,
I
obviously
agree.
not. No, no.
I
Yeah.
do agree on that principle. So yeah, so anyway, so this guy, and I was just like, so all this to say, have some self-awareness, dude. Like,
Hmm.
and I think
Key.
I may, coming back on self-awareness is sexy. I probably would have agreed with that if he had come back with self-awareness of I behaved poorly, um, blah blah blah. Like, can you give me a second chance? I honestly probably would have given him a second chance. Like, that would have been self-awareness, and I would have just been like,
Yeah.
I also have things that I'm insecure about, and it can lead me to maybe behaving erratically sometimes, and I would appreciate people kind of being forgiving for that, but I don't expect like forgiveness off the cuff. I would understand people needing me to own up to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you also have to show, like, again, we speak a lot about like the showing versus telling. It's like, don't tell me you've changed. Don't tell me you've matured
Yeah,
and you're different now and you've changed and whatever. Show it to me. And he's shown you that he can say very well that he's grown and whatever, but he's showing you that he hasn't.
yeah,
Like nothing's changed. So, your actions speak louder than words, and that's a cliche for a reason because it's
yeah.
true and it happens a lot. So,
So,
yeah, should we do another today I fucked
yeah,
up post?
I have one like now, but I mean, if you have one, you can obviously do yours.
I have a few open, so I can
Okay.
probably just go for one. Okay, so how about this one? Today I fucked up by not picking up on an obvious hint. Let's see. Last Thursday, I went clubbing and helped my friend behind the bar. I'm not sure if this is actually an interesting one. No, not interesting. Sorry. I like, yeah. How about you go first and then I'll keep looking here.
Okay. Today I fucked up by finding out my girlfriend of 2 years cheated on me on a girls' trip to Ibiza. So how did this person, so male, fuck up by finding out that his girlfriend cheated on him? Me, 18 male, and my girlfriend, 18 female, have been together for almost 2 years now. She kissed a guy on accident quite earlier on in our relationship, but managed to gaslight me by being relentlessly hard on herself about it, so I forgave her. Oh, I have thoughts on this. Not a problem since. She is my first everything. Love, sex, kiss, everything. I am her 15th body. Jesus. Third boyfriend.
Okay.
We love each other, or at least I love her very much. Since she is my first, I have always been kind of jealous about her guy friends or people who DM her. Nothing has bothered me too much. Recently, she admitted to having a manipulative habit, especially on guys, so I got a bit more scared. Well, today at 2:49 a.m., as I am writing this, and she is sleeping next to me, my thoughts got the better of me, so I started going through her Instagram DMs. A lot of guys hitting on her, but nothing put out of the ordinary except one guy. The had been chatting they had been chatting while my girlfriend was on Ibiza, flirting, talking about kissing and meeting. My girlfriend begged this man to meet because she has been thinking about him so much. I went through my
Hmm.
girlfriend of 2 years' phone in suspicion of her cheating and found evidence from a girls' trip a couple of months ago on Ibiza that she cheated on me. Today, I fucked up. I don't know how I can recover. Should I confront her? In that case, how?
I don't understand how he fucked up.
So
Like,
I think the key word. So JT used to be a police officer, and we
wow.
sometimes. I know, it's so sexy. Military, police, everything. And what
Yeah.
was it? Oh, we were watching this show called Traitors, which you should definitely watch. It's such a good
Hmm.
show. And so
I
we were
don't know.
talking about how the ends justify the means and things like that, and we went in there this whole big conversation, and we were talking about breaking into houses. Anyways, it became a huge philosophical question, and he said, in the eyes of the law, if you break into a house and you discover a bigger crime, you will not be convicted for breaking into a house. Like, but it had,
Wow.
there's a and there's a like in France there's a scale of like what kind of like shadows like covers other things. So if you break into a
Hmm.
house and discover that somebody's been murdered, or like that kidnapped or whatever, like you won't get anything, or like you'll get a small fine, but it'll be okay. And so then he says, there's a
Hmm.
principle in the French law that you know a finding out a bigger crime will forgive a smaller crime, like an infraction.